It was not that long ago that I found out that Laos was actually the most heavily bombed country per capita in history. So it's kind of surprising because I'd never really even heard of this country before. But I was really taken back when I found out that the U.S., my own country, was the one that had actually bombed them. My name is Cory Sheldon, and I am the director and animator for Laos Free. I don't know if it was maybe growing up the son of a former Air Force captain and just really being kind of fascinated with aviation, or maybe it was growing up really close to Kent State University, but I always felt I was really aware of the Vietnam War growing up, even at a really young age, despite having been born after the war had ended. And it was not that long ago when I was watching a travel show and they were doing an episode on Laos, and I saw this guy who had had his arm blown off and his leg blown off from a bomb that was left over from the Vietnam War. And it's a very kind of sobering episode, and I was really kind of intrigued by it. So I looked up the kind of info and history in the situation, and what I found out was some really pretty staggering information. There's about 80 million bombs that are still stuck in the ground in Laos today that are left over from a series of bombing campaigns that took place during the Vietnam War over a period of about 9 years. There was some 50,000 casualties that have happened from that bombing, 20,000 of which have occurred since the end of the war. And I began to think to myself when I was reading all of this, how is it that this has happened and I've never heard about it until now? And I thought, this is a really significant situation. And this is really a story that I think people need to hear about. So this really stuck with me for a while, and eventually I just decided I should probably make a film about this. The decision to do an animated film might have started when I saw a series of illustrations that were done by survivors of the bombing. And this is from a pretty small amount of visual documentation that actually exists of the bombing from the perspective of the people that were actually on the ground when it happened. And I also felt that animation was probably the only way I could really depict life in Laos, while also showing all these really pretty astounding facts that exist about the situation, not only in the present, but also in the past, and then kind of being able to integrate those into a short film. I just felt that animation was probably the only way to really kind of do that cohesively and kind of seamlessly. Supporting this Kickstarter is really going to help me to finish this film right. Animation can be pretty time consuming, and the equipment to use and the tools can be kind of expensive, so this will really help me to finish the film the way I think it needs to be finished. And also, like any film, kind of the point to tell a story is that people hear that story. And supporting this is really going to help me to be able to promote the film, so getting DVDs duplicated, festival submissions, getting posters made, getting a website, things like that. And all that takes time and it takes money, so the more support that I'm able to get for it, the more I'm really going to be able to get this film out and get the story told, which I think is a story that really, really deserves to be told. And to be honest, as an American, I've actually found it to be at times a little bit uncomfortable making this film, but I think that's really just a reflection of how significant the story really is, and just really makes me want to do the story justice all that much more. So I thank you for any support that you give towards this project, and I thank you for watching.